So here's a finished painting. As finished as I'm going to get anyway. So you can see that the hand in particular and the shirt are, much more finished. I don't like that word. I've played with the nose a little bit. The ears and the nose are, yeah, so just having a little bit of fun. It seems somehow appropriate with the costume. But the hand is, you can see there's a lot of those colors that were underneath I've allowed to show through. A lot of those purples and pinks and yellows. And it works pretty well in terms of kind of the way the light rakes across the back of that hand. Same thing in the shirt. So there's a lot of the warm yellowy greens that are allowed to show through. So there's, the spotlight that's illuminating the figure is very warm, right? So the whites in the shirt are actually very yellow, and the blues in the shirt are actually very green. There's a lot of yellow in those blues. The shadow, of course, is much different. Those blues are much cleaner, much less green. They almost look violet next to those greens. But what helps all us to read all that is the undercolors, the undertones that have been allowed to show through, and that's really effective. As we look at pretty much any area in the painting, by allowing those undercolors to show through the much more conventional kind of fleshy tones on top, it makes them really complicated optical blending. That's the phrase I couldn't think of for a second. And it's much more interesting than, one square inch painting painted kind of directly, opaquely with kind of one mixed color, right? So if you're looking at more than one color simultaneously, it's pretty interesting. So that's the painting. That's the approach in utilizing this wash approach. One last thing to draw your attention to, the background. Look at how much the figure is really coming forward. A lot of that is because of the high chroma colors of the figure, but also the layering that I talked about a couple of sessions ago, right? If you put darker colors on top of lighter colors, it tends to pull the color forward. Lighter colors, like this middle gray on top of darker colors, if you remember the much deeper colors that were in that background, cool down those colors on top, and you can see the dark colors peeking through between marks, and that pushes that area backwards, away from us, and so there's a real sense of space in the painting. All right.